The Supreme Court.
The question of the day is
Yes.
whether or not the Supreme Court has 9 members or 8 members.
It has 8.5 members.
Why 8.5,
Well,
Alex?
Elena Kagan has had to recuse herself from close to 50% of the cases that are on the docket this year because they were cases that she was involved with as Solicitor General.
Yes.
Even on day one, she had to leave in the middle, go watch a movie.
Having
or
been
something.
involved with any of these cases makes it tainted.
She did the ethical thing and recused herself.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Now, is that good for traditional constitutionalists, or does it make any difference?
The Constitution, I don't think, had any bearing on her appointment, her,
No, I
her
mean the way the
nomination,
decisions.
or the fact that she's
wait a
on there.
minute. The way decisions are decided on the Supreme Court makes a big difference, whether or not the traditional interpretation of the Constitution is upheld or a liberal interpretation is upheld. So that can't be true.
That's been being
You
picked apart
can't
for the
be
last
right
100 years. But the main thing is right now.
We're going to suspend that?
It's being suspended bit by bit for the last century. What are you talking
What's being
about?
suspended?
But let me get back to
The
Elena
question
Kagan here. Elena Kagan.
Original intent has not been suspended. In fact, it's being eroded, but not as suspended.
Well, it's certainly being debated, but that doesn't matter to the 8.5 people who are in the Supreme Court right now. They're the ones that have the ball in their hands. And for Elena Kagan,
The 8.5. You're calling.
she's the
You're calling her a
8.5.
half?
Yes, it's the good half, but it's still only half because she's only dealing with half the
I know you
cases,
don't mean that in a
which
bad
means
way, but isn't
I'm
that-
sure that they took this into account when they were looking at her nomination because those half of the cases that she's not dealing with. If the tie vote comes in the Supreme Court, then the appellate court decision stands,
yeah.
so the status quo stands, which she happened to have had a hand in representing the president.
If you look at it that way, her stamp remains on the outcome no matter what.
Sure.
That's an interesting.
She's already
It may
been there
not be
half
an
the
accurate
time.
way of looking at it. It may not have had anything to do with the thinking that went into the president choosing her.
That's right.
But it is an interesting thought.